Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Light and Spirit. Myself and Andre, for those of you who have been following it will know, this is a sort of a segment we do on the channel every 2 weeks or so where we smoke a cigar, have a drink and tell you guys what it's about. It's something that you guys have shown quite a bit of interest in and thank you for making it happen. I have tried my best to pronounce what we are smoking today. We're actually smoking 2 cigars and this is sort of like a starter cigar. I'm going to hand over to Andre in a second. And he's going to explain what this is, and you'll hear when he says what this is called how hard this was for me to get right. But what we are drinking with it is Saggy Stone Dark Horse beer. Really nice beer. If you're looking for something that goes really nicely with a cigar, dark beers tend to go nicely with cigars. This is our starter cigars from the guys at JJ Cale. Andre, take it over because I can't remember what this thing is called.
Okay, cool. So this is Toscano, made in Tuscany, Italy. Quite nice for us to try out an Italian cigar for a change. It's a dry cigar, does not need to be kept in a humidor, and that's essentially what a cheroot is. And the cool thing about this is that it's open at both ends, and so the idea behind it is that it's to be shared. So what you would do is essentially you would basically cut it down the middle, so you'll see that the label is actually slightly to one side, so that right at the tip of that's perfectly in the middle of the cigar, and then you light up and enjoy. So let's do this.
So guys, straight off the bat, the cheroot, as I'm told it's called, Toscano, I get very basic flavors, which is nice, especially for a quote-unquote starter cigar. You don't want anything full-bodied, too peppery, too spicy. You want something light and basic. Definitely something that, I'd almost put it down as like a morning cigar, a breakfast cigar. The burn isn't that even, but it was a bit hard to light the cigar. Remember, it is a cigar you don't keep in the humidor, so it's not always easy to light. But we'll definitely come back and tell you what our time frame was like in terms of getting halfway and getting to the end. The cigar, our main cigar tonight, is something you're really going to want to see. It's a very nice cigar, also from JJ Cale. This cigar pairs perfectly with this Saggy Stone. Am I saying that correctly? Saggy Stone Dark Horse. I'm terrible with names. So if you are looking for a beer-based drink to go with a cigar, check out Saggy Stone. It's good stuff. 30 minutes into this cigar, our flavor profiles that we're getting are the same. So I'm going to let Andre take over with regards to flavors, burn, body, smoke, while I enjoy my last bit. I feel I've earned a break.
So I've really slowed down with my beer, so I could really savor it with the cigar. It's a much lighter smoke than your thicker conventional cigars, but very comfortable, very generous pull of smoke, very full puff of smoke in your mouth, and you get a real nice smoothness all the way in your palate. And I get a taste of sugar, so like a very mild sugar, sort of sugar cane type of flavor, which is quite enjoyable. I'm quite a sweet tooth, so I would tend to go a lot quicker if I get too much sweetness, but I think this was a really awesome experience for us and our first Italian cigar, so cheers to
It's definitely a good starter cigar. It's something that's quick to smoke, something that we don't smoke in a hurry, but if you are constrained for time and you do want to smoke a cigar, is definitely something you can look into. And smoking with a friend is always cool, especially if someone that isn't really into the whole cigar smoking culture yet. This is something really light that they can get into, and it's not going to mean that if they don't enjoy it, they've wasted a 400 or 500 rand cigar. This is not the star of the show, though. It's one of the stars of the show. The star of the show, or the co-star of the show, is the Nub Maduro, also from JJ Cale. I'll show you guys that in a second. We're going to have a quick bite, some supper, and we'll come back with that and some cognac. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so it's been about 40 minutes since we stopped smoking our last cigar. You don't want to smoke 2 cigars immediately after each other. You might not get the enjoyment, especially in the second cigar. What we're going to move on to now, we did sort of cleanse our palate. We had something to eat, we had an espresso, So we got that tastes off our palate, and we're moving on to a beautiful nub. Now, Maduro is generally the term used for a dark cigar. This is a 4-inch cigar, 60 ring gauge, short but fat, right?
That's what she said.
So on the nose, I definitely get sweetness. I always get cinnamon, and the idea is often you get the smell that you're most used to. So I get cinnamon and weirdly wet bark. I don't know, have you ever smelled a wet tree? That's kind of what I'm getting on the nose. Now, we are going to be enjoying this with a 20-year-old KWV. That's a cognac, and the nice part of it is cognacs are generally sweet, and a sweet pairing with a cigar generally goes down really, really well. You will notice a cognac glass is a very specific shaped glass. It's got no stem or base. You want to hold this in the palm of your hand because you want that heat to sort of pull through the glass into the alcohol, and that release the scents and the flavors. Before we light this, we are going to punch this. We're not going to cut it, and we'll show you how we do that. Andre, what are you getting scent-wise?
I definitely initially get the cinnamon right at the start, and then I tend to get raisin as well. It's a very sweet smelling cigar, and I'm looking forward to smoking this mother.
Guys, about 40 minutes in, Andres managed to not let his cigar ash. That's totally fine. It actually keeps the cigar nice and warm without overheating it. It's good practice if you can do it, but it will sometimes fall on you, and it's a bit iffy. I've ashed mine. So the nub from my side is definitely not a beginner cigar. This thing sucks the moisture out of your mouth like nobody's business. The sweetness I got on the scent of it was replaced with a licorice, very, very dark, that high cocoa chocolate. So yeah, it's a very aggressive bitterness. The cognac, however, complements it perfectly, because a cognac, as you know, it's more of a sweeter type of alcohol, so it's a very good combination. I would highly recommend that. Yeah, I think we're going to end off here. I'm going to only talk about what flavors he's gotten. These shorter cigars, they tend to burn out, but this one's actually stayed lit pretty well. Big thanks to the guys at JJ Cale and Dudley for recommending this, and also recommending that we punch it as opposed to cut it. The larger ring gauge cigars sometimes won't fit into your cutters, so it's a good idea to have a punch as a backup, and the draw has been just as smooth. Andre, I don't know what you're getting on the flavors, but as soon as and these, yeah, well, there you go. That's the risk you take. So Andre's talk about his flavors, and then we can end off.
Cool. From the cinnamon to raisin sort of sweet smell you get off the cigar before you light, I'm not really getting much of that. More of a nutty, earthy taste to it once it's lit. But like Ryan says, the cognac definitely complements it. I've tried it out after my cognac. I've switched to the Dark Horse, and again, the darker leafed cigar with a dark beer really goes well, so compliments to Saggy Stone.
Just lastly, guys, with the cognac, the nice part of this is it takes time. Cognac, it's an expensive alcohol. Enjoy it, take your time, have good conversation. That's the whole point of this. This is the point of a cigar and a cognac is not. It's not about the cigar and the cognac. It's about the conversation, the company, and the commitment to time. Guys, I'll see you soon. Have a good week. Be safe, chill hard. Cheers. God bless.
Cheers.